Hey, this is Aaron with Scalability, and welcome to Freedom Fridays, where we give you strategy, tips, and tricks to help get your business running efficiently so that you have systems in place and so that you can scale and get to money as quick as possible. I don't want you to be stuck in the tech and trying to figure out software all by yourself. I believe God created for 6 days and then he set everything on automation so he could spend time in relationship with us. And I believe we should try to do the same. We should be in relationship with God and making disciples. So the goal of this is to help get you out of being stuck in tech and stuck in your business so that you can get things running properly with systems, which means it's scalable. Other people can do it for you. You're leveraging automation, and it allows you to have more time to put into the things that God's created you for instead of just running around answering emails and trying to figure out how to make all the software work. So on Fridays, I will be going live at 11:30 for Scalability subscribers to jump in backstage for live Q&A. And then at noon Central Standard Time, we're going to go live like this, and we're going to teach you something or work through something and answer questions for people in the back. Today, we're going to do a live build with Scalability subscriber, and we're going to set up a recurring monthly charge. So we're going to set up a product. Basically, somebody could join your subscription, and we're going to set up that product to where it charges their card automatically every month, and then the automation to deliver that and let you know that somebody bought in and things like that. So as always, I don't like to waste a lot of your time just chatting and running around in circles. I like to get to the point and show you how to do stuff. So we're going to jump straight into scalability with Sarah, and we're going to start building out her stuff. Sarah, how's it going?
Good.
Good.
Glad to get the help.
Yep. Good stuff. Well, let me get this sharing here. All right. I'm going to do an entire screen when I share, so you're going to get this crazy little mirror look first. Can everybody see my screen all right? Or Sarah, can you see my screen all right?
Yeah, I can see
Okay,
it.
so we're inside of your Scalability account here. Let me get this pulled over where I can see if we have any comments. Okay, so first thing we're going to do, when you guys have a product that's setting up, I'm always going to tell you first, just ask, do you have your Stripe account set up, and is it connected to your Scalability account? And it looks like yours is, Sarah. But make sure you guys set up your Stripe account and then integrate it to Scalability first. And the reason I say this is because when you create a product in Scalability, it will automatically sync it to your Stripe account. So if your Stripe account is already connected, then it will sync. If it's not, you're just creating it in Scalability, and you'll have to kind of do an extra step or two later. Not a big deal, but it just saves you a step. So first thing, when you log into Scalability, if we go to settings in the bottom left corner, and then integrations over here on the left side menu, this brings you into this window here. And if you click on your Stripe account, you can see here that we're actually connected. And yours, if it doesn't say that, you'll just click on it to connect, and it'll have you log into your Stripe account, and that's all you have to do. Now, once you have your Stripe account integrated, you're ready to take payments, right? And it lets Scalability work with your Stripe. So now if I go here on the left side menu to payments, and then at the top, you'll see orders, subscriptions, transactions, products, coupons, etc. If we click on products right here, this is where we're going to create your monthly recurring subscription or a one-off purchase. So whether you have a book for sale or a subscription or anything, this is where you're going to build your product. So here we're going to click create product in the top right corner. And then here we're going to give it a name. So there is a function where you can have an online store with a bunch of multiple products all in one place. And that's what this little toggle is for. So you can actually create like a web page that just has multiple products on it. Right now, we're just going to remove that. Okay, because we're going to put this on a sales page on your website. So what Sarah's wanting to do is create a website where people come to the website, they learn about her service, and they can just sign up, put their credit card in, and it goes, and it starts charging their card every month. Now, what this is also going to do is Sarah wants to be able to go to her own website and just put in the customer's information and credit card and start the service for them if she's meeting with them in town or in person. And so
person,
either
yeah.
way, it'll work the same. So we're not going to mess with the online store because we're just going to put a payment form directly on the website. So here,
And can
go ahead.
in the same form, can I do like I have like a monthly payment, which is 169, and then if they pay all at once yearly, it's 1,788, which is 149 monthly. So, can they pick like which option that they want and set it up?
Yeah, perfect. So good question. Let's just set them both up. So we'll actually create
Okay.
two separate products. One will be a payment of the 1,700, whatever. It'll still be a recurring, but it'll recur every
Right.
12 months. And then the other one
Yes.
will be the 169 or whatever, and it'll recur every month. So we'll set up two
Okay.
recurring products, and then we attach both those products to the sales page, to the funnel or the website page. Then when you put on the form for them to buy, it'll bring up both the options and they choose which one they want.
Okay.
So that's the big
And then
overall.
like in the future, I can add, once I have a driver, I'll add weekly services, which will reoccur monthly as far as payment, but the product will switch out every week. And so I can add on like another option if they want weekly, which is more expensive, but paid monthly.
True. Yeah, you could do that. So there's three different ways, or there's a couple different ways you could do it. You could have one website that has one button that's like buy now, and it opens up the form, like a payment form. And on the payment form, they have to choose weekly, monthly, or yearly. That's one way to
Yeah.
do it. Another way you do it is on the website, you put three separate boxes to where you've got like a box that explains the weekly services with a buy button. And then you've got monthly
Okay.
services with a buy button. And you've got, well, it'd just be weekly or monthly. So the monthly would give them an option to pay for the year or the monthly.
Right.
And so essentially on the web page, they would have two choices: get it weekly or
Okay.
get it monthly. And then those would essentially go to two separate payment pages, each with its own payment form.
Okay.
So we'll simplify it down today and we'll do the monthly
Yeah.
recurring and the yearly recurring on the same page. Okay.
Yeah. Cause I'm not ready for the next step anyway.
Right.
So,
Okay. So what's the subscription going to be called?
um,
Like when they purchase this service, what's the monthly subscription service called?
like flower membership. I don't know. I haven't I haven't thought of a fancy name yet.
What's the name of your
Um,
business?
Trading Blooms by Sarah.
Trading Blooms. So you could just say Trading Blooms Monthly.
Yeah, Trading Blooms monthly membership if it's not too long.
And so right here, as you guys saw, we went into payments on the left, we clicked on products up top, and then it brought us here. We're going to give it a title, and then in the description, you can put whatever you want, or you can just leave it at this. So a
Okay.
lot of times I'll just copy this, paste it here, and you can say, we'll bring a new, is that how you spell that? It looks weird.
Don't ask me on spelling.
Okay.
I depend solely on spell check.
You can change the description anytime you want. So you can put a description or not, but we could put something like this where it just describes the product a little bit more. Trading Blooms Monthly,
Okay.
we'll bring a new bouquet to your office every month, so you don't have to worry about it. Scroll down, and right here for the media, you can actually upload a file. So if we click upload a
Okay.
file, it'll let you pull from your bank here. So we can take a logo or just a picture of the flowers, or let's just say your logo
Yeah.
here. And then right underneath that, and you don't have to have a logo or a picture. Like if you just skip this, for those of you guys creating your stuff, if you just skip this, it's not a big deal. It just won't show up. Product type,
Okay.
you click the drop down. It's a physical good, digital, or service. If you guys have an online course, it's a digital good. If it's coaching one-on-one with somebody, it's service, right? Where they're paying for your time. Physical goods is what Sarah's doing because she's actually taking.
Actually, it's a service because I'm
Ah,
switching it out. I don't sell them, like, I don't pay taxes or anything because it's a service.
got it. Because they're essentially paying for you to bring them in and out. They're not actually buying the flowers. Got it.
Right.
So pick service, product, or digital goods, whichever it is. You can do additional options, but it's not really necessary. All this is a statement descriptor, which is like
Okay.
the shortened description that would show up on an invoice. That's all this means right here. So if you put it or you don't, either way is fine. And then right here is prices. And you click this drop down, it says one time or recurring. So we're going to do recurring. And then how much is it a month?
For month, if you pay month to month, it's 169.
Okay. And then see here, you see the billing period, and it's got daily, weekly, monthly, yearly, custom. So just like
Okay.
when you're ready to do the yearly or the weekly, you can come in here and you just select which one. So we're going to go with monthly. And then number of payments, if you don't put anything in there, it will just keep going until they tell you to cancel and you cancel it. If you put in
Okay.
like, well, we want it to go for 12 months, then it'll charge every month for 12 months. If you guys are selling a monthly subscription, but it's only a 3-month deal, you just put it in as 3 and it will charge 169 per month every month for 3 months. Okay. So if we just leave it empty, it'll just keep charging every month until you go in and stop it. Okay. And that's all you have to do to set up a monthly recurring payment or a product. Do you have any questions on that?
No, I just got to get into it and play with it too.
Okay. So when we hit save, it brings up this button here at the top. It says sync with Stripe or PayPal in the top right corner.
Okay.
When we click on that, it's going to create the same product in your Stripe account. So you don't have to go to your Stripe account to do it. It just did it. And so now it's ready to
Okay.
go. So now we'll go back to the products. And here, now we see payments on the left, products at the top. And you see here we've got the Trading Blooms Monthly and your founders. So now let's create another one and we'll do the yearly option. So here we're going to
Okay.
basically do the same thing
Okay.
and we'll use the same logos and everything that we did. It's a service. Statement description is the same. We'll make it recurring.
And then maybe put yearly because we're doing.
Yep. So we'll do recurring. And then how much is it for the year?
If they, well, it's 1,788.
Okay. And so then right here on the billing period, we just come down and select yearly. Oh,
Okay.
and then up here, yeah, I guess like you're saying.
And then the credit card thing. Yeah.
Yep. So here we've got the name, Trading Blooms Yearly. Got the logo. It's a service. This is for the descriptor on their invoice. It's a recurring $1,788 every year. Number of payments, leave it open so it'll just keep going. And then at the top, we removed it from the online store. Okay. And that's it. We come down here, it's basically the same thing. Okay, and then save. Again, we're going to sync it with Stripe. And that's it. When we click back, now we'll see we've got the two products. They've got monthly and yearly. So now we have the two products set up and they're set to where they'll recur. And now we're just going to go to the website and put in the payment form and attach the products. Okay. So now if we go to sites over here on the left, I like to build everything in funnels, but I think you've built in websites, right?
Yeah.
Is this the one you're wanting to use or?
Yeah, that florist right there, that's my website.
Okay.
And there should be some links that say like to set up a membership, contact Sarah. We can switch those to these so that they can set it up with the button. So like on the home, if you go to the home, everything's on the home now because you told me to make it one
Okay.
straight down website. So all the rest of those are not being used
Okay,
anymore.
so when I hit this preview link right here, it opens up another tab and it just brings up the website directly to where we can look at it. So here you
So
want
see, it says set up your exclusive. That button is what I want to go and they can set it up.
where they
Right
can
now
just
it
buy
says
it right now,
Cloudflare.
right? Okay.
Yes.
So yep,
All those buttons, because you told me just to keep having them
yep.
push them back to the buttons. So I think there's 3 or 4.
Okay.
Oh,
And
maybe
just so
not.
you know, or just so for everybody, as you see here, these buttons, since you stuck with your branding colors through the whole site, your buttons blend in with the background. I always tell people to make your buttons an off color or a pop color from your
Yeah,
background. So we
yeah.
can do that now. I'll show you what that looks like. Because you want the button to stand out to where they're like, oh, that's the button. That's where I click. If
Agreed.
not, people have
Yeah.
a tendency to browse over stuff or breeze over stuff because we get so much information all the time now that we're just that we just like don't have time to read everything. So people breeze through stuff and they'll easily just blow over it. Okay, so if we edit this, open this up here. So there's 2 ways we can do it. You can make your button open the pop-up and the pop-up has the payment form in it. That's the way I like to do it because it loads faster. Or you can
Okay.
make, when they click the button, it goes to another page of the website or the next step of the funnel, depending on whether you guys are using a funnel or the website. So I like to make it open the pop-up because when somebody clicks a button and the button says open the pop-up, it will happen immediately. So your load time
Okay.
is faster. If you make it go to another page, even inside the same builder, the same funnel, everything else, there's just a little bit of a lag time. And we want to keep the resistance as low as possible to a sale. And so
Yeah.
essentially, if somebody's clicking the button, we want them to like have the option immediately. I saw here you already have a pop-up. Is that for the consultation that you have in the pop-up?
No, the pop-up is for the founders, pricing, which was really at the end of last year, so we can take that pop-up off and just work with this.
Okay. So what we're going to
Um,
do then is we're going to change the buttons to where they stand out a little more, and then we're going to the pop-up, and we'll add the payment form and everything to the pop-up. Now,
okay,
I'm going to start kind of down here with one of these. Let's take this button here. If we click on the
okay.
button, it brings these settings all up on the right. So I would say on the button, I like to put things like, yes, I want to become this, or yes, I want to join now. Yes, I want a new bouquet every month. Yes, I want something where it's kind of like when they click the button in the back of their mind, they're reading the button and they're hearing themselves in their
Yeah,
mind say, yes, I want fresh flower or I want flowers every month.
yeah,
Right. So if we say
yeah,
something like, think of something like that, and we'll do,
yeah, put, "Yes, I want a unique arrangement every month." Or monthly, just put monthly.
so what I did there is I used the subtext. So
Okay,
you're,
yeah, I've never used that, that's
yeah, so
cool.
we've got, yes, I want a unique arrangement delivered monthly to my office. And now we just want to make that button stand out a little bit more. People always argue with
Okay.
me on the colors of the buttons because they're like, that's not pretty. It doesn't match my branding. I'm like, you don't want it to. You want it to stand out. the This blue is one of the highest converting colors there is. Microsoft blue is apparently that color makes people buy or click on more than any other color out there.
Okay,
Just so
well,
you know, there's there's different,
but that lighter blue, it's not, yeah, like, it still matches,
and
but
we
it's
can go
different.
in between too. So you see here, if you guys don't see the color that you like, you can click add a color, And then it'll bring this up and you click right in here and it'll bring up this scale. We can pull into the blues if you want to go with like a blue. And then we can slide this around till you see a color here that you like, right? To where it's kind of in between, not so bright and crazy. And then you,
And I actually imported my logo colors with the hex. I got the numbers specifically from my
okay.
logo designer.
Is there a color
And
that's kind of a pop color that's your logo colors that you want to use?
no, the blue's fine. I mean, if you go up, you can see some of the colors that I imported. I think
Okay.
there's a really bright green, but no, see, they're dark. The ones on the bottom line, those are the ones that the yellow, the
Okay.
pink, the green, those are imported.
Okay. So if just to finish this out, you guys slide around, choose whatever color, and then click add color, and it'll put it just into this list of other colors. And then
Yeah.
you can still just toggle between them. And then two, I like to make buttons a little different. So if you see here, all of your sections are square, right? You've got straight lines dividing these sections, straight lines
Yeah.
dividing the sections. So if we come to this and we can swap the color anytime. And you can too. You see how easy it is
Okay.
to swap. So let's not get hung up on it for now.
Yeah.
But if I click on
Yep.
advanced and then scroll down here to a full border, make the border transparent, and then take the radius edges and make them a 50, it'll round that button. So it'll
Mm.
make the button kind of like, oh, there's a round shape in the amongst of straight lines. It stands out a little more. And then something, if we come up here click on the button again, click on advanced. I like to come over the button effects and make it elevate or hover. So it'll lift like that when the mouse goes over,
Ooh.
and then give it a mid
Oh,
shadow so that it stands off the back a little bit. Now that button will catch an eye a little bit more as they go over it.
right.
Okay. And then if we go to the general, scroll all the way down, open the pop-up is what we want the button action to do. Okay. So
Okay.
now we've got a button. So now I would take this button and I just simply copy it.
Copy it.
Yep. And then just drag it into your other sections and delete that. So now
Okay.
we've got new buttons. And so I'll let you do that when we're done. That
Okay.
way we can just show people how to move through this. So when we
Okay.
do that, now when somebody clicks on this button, it's going to open up the pop-up. If I go right up here to the top left and hover over these, you'll see pop-up settings. So here, you already have this in here. I'm going to remove this, okay, so that you said you were okay with this, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So I'm going to remove this to where we've just got one column. So we're going to add a row, one column, and now it's like this. Now we're going to add an element. If I scroll all the way down here on the elements, you'll see two-step order form and a one-step order form. The difference is a two-step order form will take their name and shipping information and it doesn't show them the price. So the payment information is actually on the step 2. So they fill out their name and their shipping information, then go to step 2, then they see the price. And if they don't complete their order, Scalability has already captured their name and their information, and you could reach out to them later.
Yes, I want that.
If you do a one-step order form, so let's grab a one-step order form. Here it's got the information for their name, shipping information, and then it's got the price and their credit card, everything all in one long form. So two things happen. One, they see the price, they change their mind. Not that we're trying to hide anything, but it's just the way the mind works and the way we are. We see the price and they're like, never mind. Two, if the form seems too long, people automatically go, I don't have time for this, and they won't complete
Yeah.
it. So I personally like a two-step. I like to two-step just because it captures on the first page. So if we click on pop-up settings here at the top, it brings the settings for what the whole form looks like. This whole pop-up window looks like. If I click on the form itself, then it brings up the settings for just the order form over here. Okay. So if we go to the pop-up settings, here I want to show pop-up on the exit. I like to turn that off because if not, if it says show pop-up on the exit, what happens is somebody will open up your website and they'll be looking at it still and reading things, and sometimes the pop-up will just pop up. It's like they didn't try to
Yeah.
exit. Like, so I don't like it. I like to just make it to where the only way it pops up is if they click the button. And then
Okay.
here you can set the width. So I like a little bit medium to where the pop-up's not quite so overwhelming. See how it kind
Okay.
of brings it in? And then you could put, you could click advanced and you could do full border, and you could add a border with your branding colors around it.
Oh, nice.
You could bring the border down to where it's not quite so overwhelming, solid, dashed, things like that. So you can make those changes there. Once we have the shipping, if we click on the shipping, this order form, it brings up over here on the right, you'll see two-step order. If you click on advanced, it's got step 1, step 2. So step 1, we can put, I like to put your information, and then where should we,
Deliver it
yeah,
or bring it or something.
bring your flowers.
Mhm.
So you see what it's doing? It's changing this right here.
Okay.
And
Yeah.
then step 2, we'll change this side. And you can delete that sub headline if you want, and it'll just delete it just like that.
Okay.
Okay. And then here, I'll like just capitalize these just to make them look the same. I like to say investment instead of price or amount. So you see that changed that right there. Investment,
Yeah.
investment. And then we'll get rid of cart mode, product description, and coupon codes. As soon as you put a coupon code on there, it shows up like this. I
Yeah.
guarantee you, if your payment form says there's a coupon code, people go, oh, there's a coupon code out there in the world somewhere. I need that before I buy. And so they won't buy, and they'll go look for a
Yeah.
coupon code. So I like to just take them off, unless you're running a trial or something like that. We stay in advance, click back to step 1. Here you can kind of come through and you can say, I want the company name off or on. Yours specifically, you probably want the company name because you're delivering to a business. So you want to know the business name, their information, phone number. For those of you who are delivering a digital product or a coaching service and you don't need their shipping address, right here under toggle shipping, just hide shipping. And now your two-step order form is just this. Okay.
And maybe for full name, maybe, like, contact name so that they know it's, like, it's for the business and I just need a contact person.
So it's just like that, right? You guys see how
Yeah.
easy it is? So we're just
Yeah,
making
that's
we're
cool.
making changes nice and easy to the payment form here. And then if we go back to the general settings, we can change like the button color to match our other button color. We can
Okay.
scroll down here. You can change the text of the button color. You can change the font. You can change the roundness of the corners. You see that changed like all of these little bubbles.
Okay.
Extra small button, medium button. It just makes the button a little bit bigger and the text a little bigger. Okay. Then
And also the pricing was the founder's pricing, but it's not the pricing that we had set up to go with this.
what do you mean?
Like, I saw that it had the $99, which is the founder's pricing, but the 169 for the monthly and the 1,788,
Oh,
I don't think we've connected to
nope.
this.
This is just a preview. Yeah, that's
Okay.
not the 99. Good question, because somebody else will be thinking the same thing. This 99 is just a preview while we're making the form. it'll show up with the
Okay,
product.
that just happened to be what the founder's pricing was, so I thought it was linked to that other
Right?
pricing.
Nope. Don't worry about that. You're good. So
Okay.
then here, let me see what else we can. Somewhere here, you can change the wording on the button itself. Okay, so you see each one of these buttons. If we go to step 1, it says go to step 2.
Yeah.
You can change the text. Well, I mean, you can change the text right here. Where it said go to step 2.
Okay.
We just leave it at go to step 2, and then on step 2, same thing. You can change the button text, and here you can do something like the yes. I want flowers every month. So I'm just showing you this because I want you to see how you can go
Yeah.
through and make your changes, right? So you can go in after we're done and like dial in some of that. I'm going to hit save up here. So we've got a payment form, right? So now we've went into your scalability. We set up 2 products. Now we came into your website and we've set up the payment form. Okay. And as you guys see, take as much time or as little time as you want, customizing the form to where it looks and says the way you want it to. Now, make sure you're saving it. And then we're going to exit this funnel or this website. Okay. Now here on this page, the home page is the one that you're actually wanting to put our products on because that's where the payment page is. So here, if we click on these 3 dots in the top right corner, you'll see products. So if we click products there, it's going to allow us to add the products to this page. So right now we have the founders and we want to take this off or it's going to show up on the order form. Okay. So we're going to delete this one. And then here we're going to add a product. And when you add a product, it'll bring up this drop down. We click the drop down and we can choose monthly and then pick the price for monthly. And that's it. You click save. Now we're going to add a product and grab the yearly and click the yearly and save. Okay. That's it. Now these 2 products have been attached to that page of the funnel. And now when somebody goes to that page and clicks the pop-up, those 2 are going to show up. So now I'll show you that. If we go to this and we click preview, now if somebody, well, what happened here?
Oh, you didn't click publish. That's new.
Good thing somebody's paying attention.
Because it used to be just
Yeah, it
click
was
save.
just save. The publish is the new update. Good catch. All right.
Which I like, but it is remembering to click 2 things.
The extra step. Okay, so now we've got the product attached. So now we'll preview it. We should have our new buttons.
Yep.
So now when somebody says, yes, I want a new unique arrangement, deliver monthly to my office, it brings this up. And we're going to have to fill in all of this. Don't get your hopes up on all that information being my actual information. So you see here.
Don't think I'm going to deliver to Texas.
Yeah,
either.
exactly. So you see here, it automatically brings up Trading Blossoms monthly, Trading Blossoms yearly, has the 169, 1788, their credit card.
Oh,
yes,
cool.
I want new flowers. And so now that's it. Like we set up the 2 products. We made the payment page on the website. And then we added the 2 products to that page of the website. Okay. Let me check and make sure we don't have any questions because I know I've heard. So does anybody have any questions? Because I'm taking a chance here taking a second to look at all this. Let me see here. I'll give everybody a chance to ask questions. And then we'll jump in and I'll show you the automation. And so we'll add an automation to it to where when somebody buys, it can send you a message and trigger your shipping guys or whatever you want to do. So we'll make sure.
Okay.
We'll make sure. I know we're live on a couple channels here, so let me make sure I get to your questions. If you're watching on Facebook or on YouTube, if you put it in the comments, I should be able to see your comments inside of here. So feel free to ask your questions wherever you're at. Remind us how to link the product to the price. Okay. I gotta scroll back a little to get the conversation. Okay. Looks like we're all right. So there was one that was just remind us of how to link the product to the price. What did you mean, Jill? Like when we created the product to where the price that was actually on it? Clarify that for me before we jump into the automation. Because I actually have to switch my screens back and forth. So when I'm screen sharing, I can't see the questions. I got to stop. Okay. I'll
And
check
when we
back in the
do
questions.
when we do
What's
that
that?
automation, like that one is like if they just fill out this step one, that it notifies me to follow up with them. And then if they do fill it out to step two and do the payment, that it notifies me to go deliver. And also confirms with them, like email or text message, that they set it up correctly and that their flowers are on their way within, I don't know, however many days, 3 days or something like that.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Yeah. Okay. We'll look at that when we get there. So perfect. How the order form CTA connects to the product. Okay. So the order form, because the order form was on the website, and so we want to know how does the order form actually triggering the. Here we go. All right, I might be able to get both screens. Here we go. Okay, so the order form we put on the actual page. And when we put it on the actual website, that's all we have to do. Just put the order form on the website page. That tells the system that there is a place for somebody to put in their card. And now we just have to attach the product to that page of the website, just like we put the form on it. So on the page of the website right here, you would click these 3 dots in the top right corner above the page of the website you want to use. Now, Jill, I know you're using a funnel. I'll show you that in just a second as well, because it's a little different. And if you're looking at a funnel, that may be why the disconnect. So good question. If you're in websites here at the top and you've built in websites, you're going to click on these 3 dots and products will be right there. When you click on products, this is where it'll let you add the product. Okay. Now let's go up to funnels up here at the top. If you built it in a funnel instead of a website, it's going to show up a little different. So let's just use this one for example. You see here in funnels, the pages aren't next to each other. They're not boxes left to right. They're these basically a stripe stacked on top of each other, right? Funnel step home, funnel step success. So let's say I want to connect it here. This would be the main page of the website, just like hers was on the websites. So if I click here, off to the right here, you'll see overview, products, and publishing. So if I click products here, it'll let me add the product to this page. Does that make sense? Once we have the product attached to the funnel step or to the web page, Scalability handles the rest and it automatically shows up on the payment form when they're on the website. But I know that's kind of a disconnect, so good question. And thanks for pointing it out because I wouldn't have thought of let you know it's different from the funnels to the websites. Okay, so we've got the product set up, we've got the web page, we've got the payment form on the web page, and we've connected the products to the web page. Now we're going to come to automation here on the left. And I'm going to create a new workflow. And then I'm just going to go ahead and start from scratch. Okay. Now, every workflow or automation is the same thing. For those of you who are like still trying to figure out the wording and the verbiage, if we say automation or we say workflow, we're talking about the same thing inside of scalability. So when you open up an automation, first thing you do is come up here and give it a name at the top. So let's say purchase trading blossoms.
It's trading blooms, but keep
Trading.
going.
I was like, that's not right, but I'm going with it.
Go.
The first thing I like to do is click on settings and allow reentry. When you allow reentry, it allows somebody to go to your website and actually trigger the automation again. This is important, more important if you're doing calendars, because if somebody goes to your calendar and books on your calendar, you want them to go through the automation and get automated responses, right? Where it says, hey, we were live, our meeting's in 24 hours, see you then. And then an hour before it goes, hey, we'll see you in an hour. And if somebody books on your calendar, you want them to get the reminders to show up. And then if 2 weeks or a month later they book on your calendar again, you want it to trigger the automation again. If this allow reentry is not toggled on, the second time they book on your calendar, it won't trigger the automations. They'll be able to book on your calendar and they'll show up on your calendar, but they won't get any reminders or confirmations unless this is toggled to allow reentry. And so I like to basically first thing just jump in and just toggle on allow reentry. There's very few times for most businesses that it's not more beneficial to have them be able to go through it multiple times than to cut them off at once. So once we toggle that on, we click on builder, and that'll just bring us back to the builder here where we start, right? So with this, you're always going to have a trigger that starts everything else underneath it. And for this particular thing, the trigger is somebody's buying it from that purchase form that we just put on your website. So if I click the trigger and then search over here, I can put form. And you see there's form submitted and there's order form. So if I click on the order form, then I'm going to add a filter. And in the filter here, I'm going to say it's in a funnel or a website. So what we're doing is we're saying, what order form do you want this automation to pull from? Because if you guys are just starting out, you may only have one website with one order form to where people can order one product. But once you've been at this for 5 or 6 years, you're like, man alive, we have 10 different products. We have a funnel over here where they get our free book, or over here where they pay free plus shipping, over here where they pay monthly. And so this allows you to say this order form on this website, on this page of that website, etc. So that's what we're doing here. We're going to grab the filter and say in the funnel or website, and then you're going to pick the website that it's in, right? So it's in the florist one, right? And then we're going to choose the page. And here you choose the page that it is. And this was the home clone, right?
Yeah.
Now we're going to add a filter again. And we're going to say the product is. And you see here it brings up the monthly and the yearly.
Mm-hmm.
So we're going to set up monthly first. And then we're going to say another filter. The submission type is a sale. Okay. So we're saying that when the order form submission, and I'm going to name this monthly because we're going to have to do the monthly and the yearly. So we're saying when the order form submission for somebody buying the monthly subscription in the florist website on the home page, they get the monthly subscription and it's a sale, which means they put their card in and they submit their payment. That's what this is saying. It's pulling that information from that website, and that's what's going to trigger everything underneath it. Now we're going to do this exact same trigger again for the yearly.
Okay.
And so we're going to say this one is for the yearly. In the funnel or website, florist, the page is the home page. All that's the same. The product is, and here you'll grab the yearly. And then still a sale. Submission type, sale. So now this is saying in that same funnel on that same page, but this time they're buying the yearly and it's a purchase, that will also trigger everything underneath it. So this is multiple triggers, but it's going to trigger the same series of events afterwards. But the system itself is going to take their payment either monthly or yearly in the background. Okay.
And
So
then do I just add the trigger if they just do the information and they don't go through? Do I add that as a new trigger and don't put it as a sale? Then what
it
do I
would be a separate automation. So you would make a separate
Oh,
automation just for that. I'm going to work through this one with you, and
okay.
then I'll get with you on that other one.
Yeah.
So like that way we just keep this streamlined for everybody. Let me make sure. Okay, so we've got yearly and monthly. They're going to trigger the automation. Now, my question, what do you want to happen when somebody purchases online? When somebody's doing products, it can be, I always am like, send me a notification so I know I got a new customer. Like, I like to get a text message because I like text. And then people that have physical stores. So let's say you guys are actually selling physical products, but a warehouse somewhere is shipping your stuff. You can make this trigger an email, and the email gets sent directly to the warehouse with the customer's name, address, and what they ordered, so that your warehouse just checks orders and sends everything out. If it's a digital product, you can make it to where it sends the customer an email and it's got a link to download their digital product. So there's a bunch of things it can do, but essentially, what do you want to happen with yours when somebody makes a purchase online, whether you do it for them or they do it?
Yeah, either text that I have a new client and their information so that I can get it to them, or but then I also want it like an email to go to them to confirm that they did it correctly and their
Yep.
order went through and stuff like that, and
Okay.
that
Yeah.
3 days or so their flowers will be to their business.
Yep. Okay. So in pretty much every business out there, the steps are pretty much the same.
Okay.
So you're always going to want to give them basically a confirmation email, a
Okay.
confirmation text if you're doing both. Some just use emails. That's fine. Because I know we have international people watching and using the software too. So you may not have a text message. That's fine. You just leave that step off. But for the most part, confirmation email to the customer, confirmation text to the customer, a notification to you saying, hey, you sold something or somebody signed up for your thing. And then we do like a wait step where you wait a day or two and then you send them something else. Or you start them into a marketing sequence that gives them an email every week for the next year or something, where it's just building rapport with them, things like that. But for the most part, no matter what it is, confirmation email, confirmation text, notification to you, and then tagging people. So we want to tag somebody that they made a purchase. Because if you have contacts, for those of you who went into your contacts, and I can't share her contacts with you because you'll see all the public information that's not public. But if you go into your contacts, you see name, phone number, email, and off to the right, there's tags. If you just have a whole bunch of people in there, you don't know where they came from. So we want to know somebody bought this service on that website. We want them to get a tag that says purchased the monthly
Oh
vault.
yeah.
Okay. That way, when you go into your contacts and you've got 1,000 people in there and 100 of them have purchased the subscription from you, either in the past or currently, you can search for purchased blossoms or purchased monthly, and it will sift out the 100 out of those 1,000, and it'll bring up just the 100. Then you could select all 100 at once and send them a text message that says, Merry Christmas, thanks for doing business with us. Or as a previous customer of ours, we want to send you something.
Or we've now switched to weekly, and here's
Right.
a new option. That's really cool.
So anytime you guys are doing an automation, confirmation text, confirmation email, notification to you, and a tag, tagging the client or the customer with whatever you want to tag them with. Basically what just happened or what they just did. Those are your 4 primary things that you want on an automation. Don't get crazy, because that will pretty much manage most businesses. Now, as you grow, you can go deeper and deeper with different, if this happens, then they go over here. If this happens, they go over here. There's all sorts of crazy stuff you can do. And if you guys are techie at all, or you follow a bunch of different channels where people do this stuff, you'll see people with these cascading left and right, like 100 different steps. And I'm like I do this 6 years. I've been teaching people stuff, and that confuses and overwhelms most people, and they'll never know how to use it. So keep it simple to where you know what's happening, and if something breaks, you know how to go fix it. It will help keep your overhead low too, at least while you're getting started. Because if you get to where you have to have a full-time tech person to find the crazy automation problem that's not working quite right, and then as soon as you start bringing AI into it and it starts talking on your behalf, you really have to know how to find it and correct it. So don't get caught up in chasing all the crazy, amazing things that it can do. Figure out the basic pieces that help you run a business and start making money with that business, and lets you organize your business. As you grow, step into the rest of it. So let's add those steps. Underneath here, we're going to click on this plus. And we're going to say the first thing we want it to do is send a notification to you, Sarah. So for those of you who is like, you want to send a notification to yourself, we're looking for an internal notification is what it's called.
Okay.
Send internal notification. This will allow you to select whether you want an email, a notification inside of Scalability, or a text message. Okay. I like text messages just because I get them, I see it on my phone. I'm like, oh, sweet, somebody bought something. Emails get dumped into a million other emails. Notifications, you're only going to see them when you're in Scalability account in your notifications in the top right corner. So what do you want for a notification? Text. Okay. So here we can title your action. Your action name is what's going to show up here in the middle, so you know what it is. So I say text Sarah, and you'll see what I mean here in just a second.
Yeah.
So this is going to send a text. User type, we can click the drop down, and basically it's saying, who do you want to send it to? So we can say a particular user, and then you are the user in Scalability, so it will send it to your phone number that you have on your login.
Okay.
And then in here, you can write your message. So I like to say, hey, Sarah.
Hey, myself.
Not Siri. Wait a second. I got to clear her. You say anything that even sounds remotely like the SIRI, and it pops up on my computer, and it starts asking me questions. So we say, hey, and then if we click on this little tag, custom values, here I can go up to contact and contact full name, and it will put this contact name tag right here.
Yeah.
Just purchased the trading
blooms.
Sorry.
You're doing good if that's the only thing.
So far. So this is a text message you're going to get, right?
Okay.
Hey, Sarah, Aaron Jennings just purchased the Trading Bloom subscription. It will take whatever the customer's name is, first and last name, and it'll plug it in right there. Then underneath that, if you want all of the information, there's 2 things you can do. You can basically just make this to where you go into Scalability, you check it out, and you look at them. or you can actually have it give you the information here. So if I go over this custom values and I go back up to contact right here,
Right.
here you can see full name, you can see company name, full address, website, phone number, all of that's right here. So if I say, give me
The company name and the contact name and the address and the phone number, everything.
okay,
Just in case I forget how to go into scalability and find that information.
this is what I do, and all of you can do this too when you do this, because when you're building your automation, you're typically in kind of a tech mode
Yeah.
mindset. And so anytime we build things like this for people and we get this notification, like I'm building this for you, I know what's going to happen and I know how to check it, but you don't. So I would say, I would put it right in the text. I would say, hey, Sarah, Aaron Jennings just purchased Trading Blossom subscription, Bloom subscription. You can find all their contact information in their contact profile
Okay.
in the contacts section inside scalability. So I'll do little things like that in the text message, like reminds me what to go check.
Right.
We'll have, like when we have a custom project going on, we'll have an automation built to where we send it over to the build team and it'll wait 3 days and send myself a text message that says, check on this project because this should have happened and this is what you're checking for. I literally put directions for myself into the text message so that when I get the text message, it's not like check on project. I'd be like, okay, it literally says, this is what's going on. This is what you need to check. Because what it does, it frees up your mental bandwidth too. When you know that you read the text and it tells you exactly what to do, you don't have to stop and try to figure out what's happening.
Right.
So try to use your automation to your advantage to save time. Mental clarity is where you get the time back.
Right.
That's the whole point of software. It's a struggle and a frustration for people up front when they're learning it. And so they stop learning it. If you learn it and you learn how to leverage it, it gives you such a clear head because you're like, oh, no, I do it over there. Oh, the software is doing that already. Oh, when I get a notification, it'll tell me exactly what to do. So I don't need to worry about it right now. When
Right.
you know that it's working, you can actually work on other things and you just get the notification. So stuff to think about. So here we do contact name and then I'll just hit return. I'll click on that tag again.
Well,
And
and I might go and deliver and forget the address at home on my computer and I'll need it that text on my phone to be like, oh, this is where I'm going.
Well, you can access, so for those of you who do or don't know, get the lead connector app on your phone and you
Oh
can
yeah,
log
I
into
do have that.
Scalability and run it from your phone.
Thank you for I downloaded the app, but I have not.
So go to lead connector, you'll log in with your username and password just like you would Scalability on your computer. And then once you're in the bottom right corner, there'll be the two little people kind of icon. If you click on that, that's all your contacts. You can click on it, search for somebody's name, pull up, and you'll get all their information on your phone.
Yes. Got it.
So what I'm going to do here is, right, we've got contact name. So I'm going to hit return. I'm going to click the tag again. I'm going to click on contact. And then here I'm going to say contact company name. See, now it's got the code for contact name, company name. I hit return, tag, email, return, hit this little tag, phone number, return, hit that little tag, let's say full address. So now you're going to get a text message, and from the contact profile, from their payment form, it's going to grab their name, company name, email, phone number, and full address, and it's going to send that to you in that text message. Everybody understand? Seeing a few head nods. I'm checking I can see the comments. So if you guys have questions, make sure you put them in the comments. And if you're watching on the replay on YouTube, Facebook, doesn't matter. Put it in the comments. I'll make sure we get your questions answered. That's the whole point of these. All right. So then the next thing, we want to send a text and an email to them. Okay. So I'm going to click on that little plus and I'm just going to put SMS. Send SMS. This is going to send it to the customer. Okay. Now here we've got SMS. I'm going to put confirmation text. And then here I'm going to say, hi, grab this contact or that tag and do contact first name because we want it to be a little more personal. Hey, Aaron, this is Sarah with Trading Blooms.
Yay.
And then here you would write what you want. So I'm not going to write all these for you.
Yeah.
You're going to come and do them just for the sake of time. But here we put hi. It'll plug in their first name from that. This is Sarah with Trading Blooms. And then tell them what to expect. You can write it right here.
Okay.
I like to say, I also sent you, and this is important. Pay attention to this as a writer downer. Almost everybody sees a text message. Emails could end up in spam, junk, promotions folders, depending on all sorts of crazy algorithm stuff. So I like to send somebody a text message. And in the text message, it's a, hey, I see you. Thank you for what you just bought or signed up for. And then I also sent you an email from, and I put my email address directly in it. So what's the email address?
Sarah at tradingbloomsbysarah.com. It's really long. Yes, perfect.
I also sent you an email from da-da-da-da, and then I say, check your spam, junk, and promotions folders. If you don't see it right away. So what we're doing is we're wanting to remind them if they get the text message, hey, just so you know, I also sent you an email from Sarah at tradingbloomsbysarah.com with important details about your subscription. Check your spam, junk, promotion folders if you don't see it right away. Everybody write that down because when they get the text message, you want to say, hey, go check for it, look for it. There's important things in there. If they got your free book, say, hey, I sent you an email with the downloadable link to get the free PDF that you just signed up for. Make sure you check your spam junk folders so that you don't miss it. You're wanting to make sure they go, they find it, and they open it. That also builds your reputation online with that person and will help your deliverability in the future. If somebody opens your email, it tells the internet that they at least know you and they're kind of interested. If they're in there and they do something inside the email, like they respond or reply to it, it ups the reputation and the internet goes, oh, these people know each other. It's less likely to go to spam. From what I understand. I'm not an email expert, so before people call me out on that, that's from what I've been told and understand. So then we're just going to save this action. And you see here it shows up like this. Remember when I said we title them? Text Sarah, confirmation text. We can say client, confirmation text. The idea here is that you can look at this line and you see exactly what they are and you don't need to open them, right? So this is obviously a text to you. This is a client confirmation text. And now we're going to add an email. Send email. And here you can either type in your email or you can click this tag. And this is from name. So this is coming from you, right? So we'll call it client confirmation email. And then we're going to click on this little tag, and this is from you. So you can just type your name in there or your company name in there, or you click this tag and you come down to account, and on account, name. it's going to pull the name from your Scalability profile where it says friendly business name. So
Okay.
whatever you put in your friendly business name on your Scalability profile, it's going to automatically plug it into here. Now, the reason I use the location name, this little code, instead of just typing Sarah, is so that if you write 50 emails in automations, 5 or 6 different automations, and you put Sarah in every one of them, and then you decide, I want to change it to our company name or from the support team, you got to go into every automation, every email, and change it. If you do location name, you just go to your profile and update the profile name once, and it'll cascade it and change everything in all the emails. So that's the beauty of these little codes. So location name will pull from the profile. From email, we'll click the tag, account, and then scroll down here to email. This is going to pull the location email from your business profile in Scalability. So same thing, you can update it, change your email address, and it will fix all the emails in the automation. Here, write your subject. I talked about this with somebody the other day when we were talking about a challenge and all the different pieces. Each piece of your funnel or each piece of communication has one primary job. A subject of your email is just supposed to make people open the email. That's it. So when you say something like important details inside, they're like, oh, I better check that out. It makes them open it. That's the only purpose of it, of a subject line, right? That's why people write subject lines the way they do, is because it makes you go, oh, I want to hear that story, or what's that thing? So they open it. And then your first line should make them want to read the rest of it. This is a confirmation email. So people are looking for receipts and things like that. They're going to check it a little more. So same thing, just come in here and write whatever. Hi, contact, first name, and then put whatever you want. So again, I'm going to let you write these, Sarah. So I'm going
Okay.
to save action. So you see here, they show up. When you come into
Yeah.
this automation, you'll just click on it, and then you can edit it and write what you want. Click save. Click on the email, and you can just type right here and your subject, type your text, click save. Okay. So now it's going to text you and let you know. It's going to send them a text, send them an email, and then we wanted to give them a tag. So let's put this right here and just search tag. We want to add a contact tag. And here we can either type one in and add it, or they'll kind of pop up as you have some. If we say we want to call it purchase Trading Bloom subscription is the name of our tag. We just click add new tag, and now it'll add that to the person. I like to put it up here. Again, this is just so that I can see that what shows up over here. So then when I save that, you can see what's going to happen here. When they submit this order form, it's going to send a text to Sarah. It's going to add this tag, purchase Trading Blooms. Then it's going to send a client confirmation text, a client confirmation email.
Awesome.
Clear enough?
Yeah.
So in your text and your email, you can tell them, what to expect and everything else. This automation right here will service 90% of the businesses that most of you have, because you're just letting people know. Somebody signs up for grabs your free PDF. Same thing. They opted in. The trigger was they filled out a form, not an order form, just a form. And then it sends you a notification. Somebody got your PDF. It tags them, got the opted in for the free PDF. It sends them a text and an email saying, hey, check your email. The PDF's in your email. And the email has the PDF. This services that. Somebody gets a free plus shipping book. Same thing. They paid for the free plus shipping order form. You get a message. they get a tag, they get a text, they get an email. Like those 4 steps will service the vast majority of business on delivering things. After that, you can push them into something else. So this in particular, if you have we call it like a soap opera sequence. I think Russell Brunson with ClickFunnels called it a soap opera sequence because he talked about how they would watch soap operas every week. And the whole point of a soap opera was they tell you a story and then they leave you on a cliffhanger that makes you wait for the next episode so that you're like, I want this. They write emails that way and they call it soap opera sequence. So you may send them a confirmation and then have the automation wait 3 days and send them an email. And then wait 7 days and send them another email. And then wait 7 days and send them another email for an entire year. Essentially entering a soap opera sequence where they just get an email once a week telling a story and making them look forward to the next email. So if you were going to do something like that, those are kind of your continuations or your branches, right? If we come down to the bottom, we click this plus sign, we can add a wait just by typing in wait. It'll bring this up, and here you can set it just by toggling up how long, minutes, days, or hours. So we could say I want it to wait 7 days, title it 7 days, and save. Now these things are going to happen immediately, and then the system's going to hit this, and it's going to wait 7 days. Then it'll continue on with whatever's underneath it.
Okay. Yeah, and because I could do like an email that says like, have any questions or concerns? Remember, this is Sarah's phone number and she can, service any needs or something like that, just to make that they're satisfied and make sure they have my contact numbers. So
put all that in your confirmation email. And then if you want to, I wouldn't send out extra ones just saying that. Like put it in your welcome, your confirmation, where it just says, if you have any questions between now and then, feel free to, and I would say text me back at this number, or feel free to respond to this email address. I never tell people to call. Never. We don't answer the phone, period. Phone calls are interruptions. If somebody texts or emails, then we can get back to them in the time that works best for us. Because again, you guys have to think about, until you have a sales team or a secretary sitting there ready to take calls all the time, most of you have other jobs, kids, hobbies, different time zones. And the last thing you need is everybody thinking that I have a problem. All I need to do is call Aaron. Scalability will never grow to become everything God's called it to be if I run around chasing every single person on phone call. Like we're 1 year in, and there's absolutely no way I have that kind of time. That's why we do these on Fridays. How do I service as many people as possible? And so when you have questions, there's live chat inside the software, and we want to train you to use that. And then there's the Friday calls. Come in here. Let's strategize, help you win. We want to train you to use that. Then if you have something outside of that, send an email, support@fastscalability.com. Like those are your channels. If you send an email to support@fastscalability.com and it's like, how do I connect my domain? You probably won't get any response at all because our email only services billing questions. Because we have to get people, not because we don't want to help people, but because when you become the point of contact for every single thing and they know that, and it's your cell phone number and they know they've got you, anytime they need you, there's no way you're going to run out of time, period, all the time. And that's what keeps a lot of people running around in circles where I don't have enough money to pay the bills to hire somebody else. And I'm too busy to bring in new customers because I'm constantly servicing things. That's the round and round that goes. So if you're going to build something that's scalable, which is why, think about it. Who do you get to talk to at Facebook? I mean, as frustrating as it is, if you have a problem with Facebook, you are not getting a person. Google, same way. All the biggest companies, you're not going to call in and get somebody on the phone because they know it's the least effective way to get something done. And so how do we take the systems of the world and bring them into our businesses so that we can scale what God's given us as well? We pay attention to a few little things like that. You can apply them at a beginner level when it's easier, because it's easier when you only got 5 people to start working with them and training them to go in a certain way than waiting until you've got your first 1,000 clients and you're just running around stressed out all day long trying to service everybody. So think of those little things. What way do you want people to respond, and put that in your welcome text, your welcome email? Hey, if you have any questions, feel free to shoot us an email at this. In your text message, if you got any questions, feel free to text me at this number anytime. Like, don't even say feel free to call me. And then if they call, you just don't answer and you text them back. Like we do it. That's essentially the way we run ours. It may be frustrating, but at the same time, I quickly realized in order to grow to the level that I feel like God's called us to take this, you have to go back and analyze what all you're doing in the course of a day, and then look at it and figure, how do we make it more efficient? How do we make it better? How do we do it better? How do we service everybody better? And that's why we upped the customer support, brought in an entire team that does live chat inside the software. That's the best we can do for tech support. Because even if you call me and I answer the phone every time, I am not nearly as knowledgeable as they are. They know so much more about it. So we actually service them better, and I get my time to where I can focus on how do we create new business to scale it, right? So when you guys are building your automations, think of that. When you're telling people to respond, tell them how you want them to respond. Start training your clients just like you would train your kids or anybody else on how to interact with you. Cool? Understandable?
Awesome.
Good.
So in my website, if I copy and paste that blue button that we made, it'll have all of that already linked. Like I don't have to relink each button.
Yeah, so you're copying that button, and that button, you're copying the design and the actions that button's supposed to do, and that button's supposed to open the pop-up. So yeah, it'll copy all that and you just move it around.
And then when I create a new workflow, that's just if they fill out the first page of information and go, what is that called? Is that a bump, or like, when I go
It
into
would be an opt-in. It would be essentially an opt-in, I believe is what it is. Yeah.
Okay.
I'll have to take a look at it, and we can take a look at that here in a second. But yeah, that would be essentially an opt-in to where that would trigger you to let know there.
Okay.
I'm going to wrap this up because we're going on an hour and 40, I think. And I know it's useful, but I want to wrap it up for people. And then if you guys, Scalability subscribers, if you want to hang out in the back room for just a second, we can kick around any questions that you guys would have and make sure we get taken care of. But we'll wrap up the live for now. If you guys are catching this on the replay, then that's fine. Ask your questions because we want to make sure we get you taken care of. Even though you're not a Scalability subscriber, you're not in the back room, we still can get your questions answered for you on the Facebook, on the YouTube, everything else. So put your questions in the comments, and we will catch you guys on next Friday. Every Friday, 11:30 for subscribers. So if you have Scalability, pay attention to your email and your text. We'll send you out notifications every week with the link to join us backstage. If you're not, catch you on the live in the comments. Have an awesome weekend and the rest of you guys' week. See